Hey, what's up, everybody? You are now tuned into the Black Ramen Podcast. I am Chatty Patty, aka Madam Straw Hat, aka the Celestial Dragon, aka I am whatever. Anyway, so I got with me a couple of friends, my pirate mates, my dear close. Go ahead, friend.
I just pop in the middle. Okay,
That's
hey
it.
y'all. This is Sleepy Bree, T7 Bree, and stuff.
You and Patty need to switch names now. It is Sleepy Patty and Chatty Bray.
Nah, that one pop top hit.
What's up,
Nah,
guys?
like
This
a
is
one pop
Derby,
top.
aka Sexual Chocolate.
Dang, you got nothing either? Okay. So guys, this might be a bit of a quicker episode, but welcome to the Black Ramen Tournament arc. Today we've got two categories up for debate. We probably should have polled y'all to get opinions, but we put this together. So next time we do one, you can send us your opinions. But tournament number 1, we are trying to figure out the best/hottest mom of recent anime. Or I guess not recent for some of these.
Yeah.
So what we did, we will be going through the tournament arc. We will be debating all sides equally and coming up with the ultimate hottest mom we've decided from these. So our 4 contestants for hot mom of anime is number 1, Yor from Spy X Family. We got number 2, Trisha Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. You don't need to put the picture up yet. We got number 3.
I won't.
No, put the picture up. We already started. Put the picture up.
We're working on it. Number 3, we have Queen Healing from. Why can I not remember anything? King's Ranking of Kings. And finally, we have Sachiko Fujinoma from Erased. Dang, I can't remember crap. So what we're going to have to do is each one will have a champion. 2 people will debate. 1 person will decide the winner. And we'll narrow them down until we have a victor. So, for mom number 1, Yor, who wants her? Who wants to argue in favor of Yor?
I'll take yours.
Okay.
I'll take yours.
And it'll be Yor versus Trisha Elric. Do you want Trisha or should I take Trisha?
Shit. I got nothing for Trisha. You should go.
Right, Sam. This will be a first round. Okay. So, Patty, what is your opening argument in favor of Yor as the hotter mom?
So you're gonna make me go first?
Yeah,
All right.
I got to figure out something to say.
All right. So you can't compete with dead. I'm sorry. You're Trisha Elric did her best to raise 2 boys and she ended up dying for it. So anyway, Yor is an amazing mother. The reason I say she's an amazing mother because she stepped into a role that wasn't really hers. She didn't give birth to Anya, but she played that role. She was protective. She gave her love. She made her feel like she mattered. She made sure that she knew that at the end of the day, regardless of what happens at school, beat they ass. Every single one of them beat they ass. She taught them self-defense. And she, like, what's so beautiful about it is that Anya reads minds and she could tell that this woman loves her. It's not just an act. Even though they all played a role in being this spy family, hence the name Spy Family. But she really showed how much she loves her, even going telepathically in her mind, knowing that, let me be careful so I don't hug this girl too hard because I might crack her ribs like I did my younger brother because I love this little girl so much. She was so protective at the orientation at the school when they asked her about her real mother. She was the first one to get up and said, let me grab this little girl. She needs to be protective. Her mom instinct hopped in automatically, quick. Not only that, she played a great mom to her son. I mean, not to her son, but to her younger brother. She took on the life of an assassin, came home bloody, then decided to change her color scheme of her wardrobes just so she won't come home so bloody. And she did it all just to maintain a normal lifestyle for her younger brother. She never wanted anything in return. She just wanted children to be happy all around her. And that's the definition of a true mom. You put all your stuff aside and to make sure the innocence of the world, which are children, are happy and loved and protected. I'm done.
Okay. Admittedly, I'm back in the underdog here. We have got Trisha Elric here. She is hardly even a character. We only see her in brief flashbacks. She barely even exists. But in her favor, she's the icon. She is the pinnacle. She is the highest of the high of the dead moms. She is the dead mom TM down to an art. The second she appears on screen, we see the dead mom hairstyle. The nice, like, gentle ponytail over her shoulder. You see and know this bitch don't have 5 minutes. She's gonna be gone before you can blink. But she does it well. She serves as an inspiration to her children. She is relevant to the entirety of the story because she is like the point that sets everything off. We can see how much these kids love her. They love her so much, they decide to flip off death and like break the law in order to get their mama back. She's not there for long, granted, but the love she instilled in her children are so powerful that years later it haunts them and gives them nightmares. A love so powerful, it costs an arm, a leg, and another arm, leg, other arm, other leg, body, heart, brain, everything. So she inspires a lot. She is such a hot mom that an immortal was walking by one day, saw that, was like, yep, I'm getting me some of that. He tapped that not once, but twice, knocking her up thoroughly. And yet in Spy Family, they've hardly held hands. Can you say Yor is that hot of a mom when she isn't really getting any? Yeah, you can. That's fair. She is great. But Trisha Elric did her best, and she is much more relevant to everything that happens in the series. Yeah, Yor is there. She's cute. She's
all right,
so
time.
I gotta call it time. Guys, in my defense, I didn't even choose Trisha.
Nah,
Patty chose Trisha, so I don't know why she's standing up here now taking Yor when Trisha was her pick.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Why did you ask who want to take it? Like, you know? But I mean, it is what it is.
I assumed it would be Derby taking Yor. But okay, Derby, who was the winner of
Derby
round
was
one?
quiet. He didn't say that. Okay, so.
Oh, is that how this is working? Like,
yeah, Derby, you are now the decider.
Fuck. Shit, that was good. Yo, look, I was like, yo, Trisha is dead in the water. But then there was that line where the immortal kind of went for her. And I was like, shit, that's kind of good. I mean, she still lost, don't get me wrong. It's just that's a damn good line.
Okay, so the winner for round one is Yor.
Obviously.
I think we can all agree it's Yor. Okay, so Derby, who do you want to represent next? Because you must represent someone. Do you want to do healing or Sachiko?
I'm going to do the one I chose, so Sachiko.
All right. I'll do Queen Healing. So next up, we have Sachiko Fujinoma from Erased.
All right, so when it comes to Sachiko,
Wait. Hold on. Time out. You doing Queen Healing, the lady with the titties?
Yeah.
I want to do her.
You want to do it? Okay. I'll be the tiebreaker happily. Okay, go ahead, Derby. Opening statements for Sachiko.
All right, so for Sachiko, obviously.
Yeah, you got a minute.
You can't just say time. I don't know it. Yeah, so for Sachiko, overwhelmingly hot, overwhelmingly gorgeous, amazing cook. So, if you want that as well. Personality to the T, on top of looks, on top of everything. And then let's not forget her main thing, the DSLs. All right, the DSLs are there. And they are important to everything about what Sachiko is. She's hot, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's a great cook. What else do you need in a hot woman, in a hot mom? That's all I need. What's that?
That's it? You're done? You got 30, you got 25 seconds. You're done? Okay.
You got it.
All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I beg of you to look at this picture right there next to me. Look at her. That's all I need to say. Look at her. She is one of the toughest, one of the most strongest, one of the most baddest moms in all the land. Why? because she just is. You can't tell me you don't want to hug right in between the creases right here in the titties and make you feel warm inside. That's what the type of stuff she does. And she heals you. She's been super protective of Boji, maybe a little overprotected to the point it made it seem like in the first couple of episodes she looked like she didn't care about Boji, but she did. She tried her best to get into Boji's mind and heart, and she did that while being gracefully in the threads of a queen. She came through with her royal gowns, beautiful gowns, lovely gowns. Her hair was done. She never had a strand misplaced. And still she played outside, up and down that flower garden, trying to play hide and go seek, whatever game it was, with some cake. Yeah, she tried to chase him down with a cake. Who wouldn't want your mother chasing you down with a cake, talking about you need to eat this cake? Man, that is pure heaven. And she did it still being the baddie of the whole kingdom. When I tell you this woman oozes femininity, grace, balance, all of that. And she looked like she smelled good. I'm not even going to hold you. That is some expensive perfume. I could tell she has it. And top it off, when it's time for her to wear armor, she beat people down. She's like, don't let these titties fool you. They ain't stopping nobody. I'm going down. Listen, I go down in the trenches. And she did that. How many people she saved? How many people she saved in episode 7? She saved everybody and their mama after passing out 6 times. She still did that. She's about that life. And that's why she's the hottest baddie in the kingdom in my time.
Overwhelming slaughter. Just pure eloquence. I thought Yor had the leg up because just when you look at it, you show 2 pictures next to each other. Yeah. War wins off of aesthetic. She looks great.
We're not going against Yor.
Oh shoot! I don't even remember who you were talking about. Fujinoma. Yeah, dang. Your argument was so mid. I couldn't even remember who you were arguing for.
Damn.
Yeah, and you didn't even mention the fact that she had found the serial killer. She was the first.
She died from finding that, so it's not
She
good
figured it
fact.
out and investigated it. I would have been more impressed. Hands down, easily, no contest. Excuse me. Queen Healing wins. So we now are at our finals. We have our finalist, Yor, and our finalist, Queen Healing. Yor from Spy Family, Queen Healing from Ranking of Kings, or King's Ranking.
Okay, so, I sit this one out.
I sit this one out.
Yeah, because I did 2 already.
This is still yours.
How should we do this? All right, everyone pick a side. And we'll all argue a 3-way battle.
You know what? I would have to say Yor wins. To me, I think Yor wins over.
Really?
Yeah, I have to say Yor. The only reason I say that is because Boji's what's her name? Healing. It took us a while to realize that she was for Boji.
And honestly, she never really was for Boji. She's constantly against. She stole his kingdom.
No, I mean not for him as a king, but as a parent.
Even then, one of your main things as a parent is to believe in your child. And
thanks, so your side is anti.
But that's a battle shonen, so I wouldn't put it as just all parents to act like that.
You should believe in your kid.
Derby, it seems like you're just anti-healing, and I'm actually on healing side for this. Because hear me out. In terms of writing, she does have that character on mark. When we see first few episodes, you're cursing out like, that bitch, how dare she? I want to go in there and smack her. But when you see where that comes from, all of it, even the negative aspects that she wasn't really for Boji, came from a place of deep concern and love. Because she saw this little baby. She was brought in suddenly. A king who probably doesn't even like her that much, as it showed later. And she's like, fine, whatever. But she sees this little boy, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to do my damnedest best. She sees him tired, or quiet, mute, timid, deaf, and she just immediately thinks, yeah, I'm going to protect him with my life. And later, we see that. We see her literally jump out a window trying to catch him and make sure he's okay. She jumps out of a window. And when she gets a second child, her own child by birth, a lot of times in these kind of like political ones, medieval ones, you know, when the stepmom gives birth to a kid, that kid's her priority. The other one is now just her stepson. She never really breaks it apart like that. Immediately she says, like, look, Boji, this is your little brother now. You guys are siblings. You guys are together. She is immediately worried for both her children, manages to split her attention, and does her absolute best. Even when the idea that she stole his kingdom, that was from a place of concern, because he is small. Their actual ages are very vague, but she's a small, little, timid boy that she remembered couldn't even come out to get a piece of cake from her. And she's like, I don't know if he can rule. I will protect him from that because I don't think he can do that. Yeah, she didn't fully understand his strengths, but she did a great job. Whenever he comes to her, it's like, hey, Mom, can you heal this? She's like, I got you, boy. And she fights with every bit of her strength. Unlike yours, she doesn't have super assassin abilities, and yet that doesn't stop her from charging into battlefields, doing her absolute best
she
for her
can
kids.
heal any wound, so that's pretty good to go into battle.
That's not physical abilities, though.
It's a magical ability. It's probably more important.
I mean, it's not an attack ability.
One thing I do have to say about healing, regardless of how her parenting skills are, there's no lack thereof. Like there is parenting. Like, even though her form of protection was overrun by like believing in her kid, at the end of the day, at those times, he does have a disability. So I'm not saying that should be an excuse, but for a parent who's coming into a family that doesn't know how to raise a disability child, a child that has disabilities, I can see where she can feel that, no, I got to protect this kid. But what I'm saying is the 2 episodes that we saw, the first 2 episodes, we was like, oh, that bitch.
Oh,
like,
no, without
till later.
And yet we see she learned sign language.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. And I appreciate that. But we didn't know that till like later. You know what I'm saying? But with I feel like as soon as she stepped in that role as being a mother, she took it hands on. She punched in and was like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm going to do. She may not have it all together when she decided to teach her child assassin moves with a volleyball. But her intentions were pure and wholesome, I think, because she said that, you know, I'm going to teach you how to defend yourself because the world is not going to be so kind. And she did that. Not only that, that black dress is fire. I'm still trying to get that black dress. And those needle spike things, yo, she came through. She made killing such a sexy thing. She made assassination just a yo, the fact that she's like, oh, I might have to wash this dress. It smells like blood. Like she knows how to separate assassination from motherhood to wife. And I think she does it so well with when you put her against healing. It's like it was a little shaky in the beginning, but with you already know that she's already coming from a loving place because she already had experience raising her brother. So she came in and she just copy and paste. She just applied everything that was necessary for this family that she had with her relationship with her younger brother. But with healing, we was like, oh nah. She was yelling on the first episode, like, bring him to his room now. I'm like, you're not even my mother. Low key. Like you're not my real mother. So it's like I would have to go with your 100% because she came in lovingly throughout the beginning all the way up to the end.
You know, I think you might have convinced me. It wasn't everything you said, but my biggest hesitation with yours, like, she didn't do that much fun thing. She's been there for, like, it feels like a week. It feels like she just got on the scene. So, of course, compared to, like, someone who raised kids from birth pretty much all the way up however old they are. But what you mentioned was isn't only a mother to Anya. She was a mother to her little brother. Like, with no other parents really helping him, she raised him. She brought in the dough. She raised someone who loved her completely. And, like, she took on the dirty hard work to keep him, like, fed and clothed. So when I think not for Anya, but for her brother, how she acted in a parental mother role, I'm convinced your wins.
I've been anti-healing from the beginning, so yeah.
I know. I don't understand why.
And it's just in this list. I'm sorry, you steal somebody's kingdom? No,
she didn't.
She did. She wholeheartedly did. Literally, boss is like, yo, this is my heir. And she went behind his back after his death and said, fuck your will.
Boss is a shitty dad. We actually gonna have him
We
on the
will
next
get
list.
to
So
that.
I
That's
don't
not the
trust
point.
him. I
It
don't trust
doesn't
what a
matter.
shitty dad tells me to do with my
It
kids.
doesn't
Like, no, fuck
matter. It's his kingdom, and he gets. Yo, even if it's a shitty dad, if he gives his kid a house, you don't get to say, "Nah, my other son gets the house," because this one can't take care of himself. Like
you.
what?
Not just the house, all the responsibilities. She didn't think he was capable. But
Yo,
regardless,
that's what prime ministers are
healing loss,
for.
healing loss, your win. So that is the end of part 1. Part 2, we have the worst dads. Yes, hottest moms now worst dads, and we're looking for the most douchebag dickish dads, the dads who cause the most daddy issues in the entire series. So, our candidates are 1, Grisha Yeager, 2, King Boss, 3, Sho Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist, and 4, a guy named Kenji from Stars Align. If you've never seen Stars Align, then we will explain it to you. In fact, let's start with that. Derby, you are arguing for Kenji since he was your pick.
All right. So look.
Wait,
all
we
these-
got to figure out who you're going against and who's going against you.
Sure.
Who should we put against Kenji? Screw it. Patty, you got Sho Tucker.
Who shows Tucker again?
Full Metal.
Full Metal
You
Alchemist,
made
Nina and the dog.
Man, that's an easy. Go ahead. That's easy.
All right, let's go. She did this on purpose, I swear.
She really did.
All right, so look, Kenji, a lot of you don't know what Stars Align is about, and that's fine. Not really. Really go watch Stars Align so I could get a season 2, but that's besides the point. Look, when it comes to bad parenting, this show got it all, and Kenji takes the fucking cake. Like, Kenji is very realistic to what has happened in real life, you know, and basically, it seems in Japan, as far as this show goes, no matter where your son tries to hide, if they try to get away, if they're not officially divorced and don't have an actual restraining order, he can go to the government and be like, yo, where my kid at? Find them. They will happily give him the address, and he will go through, wait till the mom's at work, show up, beat his kid up, and steal all their money. That's what Kenji does on a daily basis, goes off to drink and gamble, whatever the fuck. Guess what? They'll get up, move, he'll do it again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. This is the worst of the worst. Like, whenever people are telling me, like, yo, Goku's a terrible dad, Jing's a terrible dad. No, they're not. They left. That's a problem, but that's not him. They don't show up, beat up their child, steal their money, and then fuck off to do it all over again. So, yeah. Kenji's the worst.
Okay. All right, so that's me next. This guy's a bad dad. That's it. I don't need to say anything. He mutated his own daughter with his pet dog just so he can prove some form of science of alchemy. And he's a selfish, greedy individual. He will, to this day, if you see his face and you see the glasses, you just want to beat the mess out of him. There is a ban on all anime conventions that you cannot cosplay this person. They literally give you a warning symbol like, yo, enter as this cosplay at your own risk, because everybody knows when you see this individual is on site. He is a terrible, 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 terrible person. And to those who cosplay as his daughter merged into the dog, how dare you? And for the girl that cosplayed last year as the daughter / dog, and when somebody said, how dare you? And you just went down in fours like the dog when the Elric brothers found them, you don't deserve to go to any other cons after this. This guy, that was terrible. This guy is just a bad dad. I don't need to say anything else. Guys, you see the screen. He's just a terrible ass dad. I thought I had a bad dad. This nigga is terrible. This nigga make my dad look like the best father in the world. Like, he is deep. You worried about a dad not coming back after saying he gonna get some milk? At least you not fused in with the house pet at the end of the day. He's just a bad dad. That's it. Time.
I'm actually a little conflicted. I didn't think I would be, But see, what's got me sitting on the edge is Show Tucker is a great dad, except for when he's not. So when he's not is when he's killing his wife and then killing his daughter and dog. Or no, fusing them into a agonized hybrid monster being. But in between that, he's wonderful. He goes out to play, he takes care of her, he's very loving. While on the other hand, douchebag Kenji from Stars Align is always a piece of shit. He's always causing his son misery. And Derby, you didn't even bring up the hardest fact of Kenji. Excuse me. He drives his son almost to the point of insanity. You know, I don't want to spoil anything, but at the end, his son is not okay.
I thought that was implied. The daddy issues, that's what we're choosing.
Like we won't say anything, but go watch Stars Align. It's great. So, a dad who's good, except for when he's not, and when he's not, he's very, very bad, or a dad who's like on the regular bad. Actually, I think ultimately, Show Tucker wins as the shittiest dad because he's pretty much a state-sanctioned shitty dad. Because there's no way they didn't know after the first time he transmuted a terrible, painful, agonized monster creature when his wife mysteriously disappeared. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Keep trying. Like, you can't tell me that no one noticed that. So he was staying sanctioned, allowed, and then knowing the agonizing consequences, he did it again. Kenji is bad, but he did not fuse his child into an agonizing state of misery where all they have the ability to say is, please kill me. He pissed his son off, but he did not drive his son to suicide.
My thing is simply, if it would have given Kenji $1 million to do it, he would have. Just like Show did for money.
We don't know. We can't spout theoreticals here.
I mean, there's no alchemy.
And therefore, between the two dads, only one drove his child to suicide. Show Tucker wins. Next up, we have Grisha Yeager versus King Boss. I personally would like to represent King Boss. Who would like to battle against this with Grisha?
Who's Grisha again?
Yeager.
Aaron's dad. Nah, I would lose.
Yeah. Honestly, it's really a wash.
I would lose.
Now that we know what happened in the last season.
Yeah, the basement did it for me. I'm sorry. I mean,
what?
King Boss wins.
But he screwed over his one son before he even got to the second.
Yeah, there was good reasons for that.
Yeah, there was under political, social.
Not as a politician, but as a dad. Dang, does that mean I'll argue Grisha Yeager and someone else can take King Boss? Because clearly Grisha Yeager needs defense as the shittiest dad.
You alone on that one. You are alone on that one.
Patty, you want to
take Okay. I'll take Grisha. Switch my image. I'll argue for this.
Go for it.
There are some things you do or don't do as a dad. There are some times when before politics, before ideology, you got to put your kids and your family first. Did Grisha? No. As soon as he had his first child, he didn't see it as a child. He didn't see his wife as a wife. He saw them as political tools for the freedom of his people in general. Which, yeah, great ideology. But you can be a great man and a shitty father. He looked at his son and said, yeah, what this is bloodline. I need this. I need to use this tool. And he groomed his son towards that end. He groomed his son without really protecting him from the horrors of the world. And this is before. If you're watching Attack on Titan, you know that, like, Eren is a shitty son. Eren is the worst. A lot of things we knew Grisha had done was, like, slaughter a bunch of people. Yeah, pretty much. That's what he wouldn't want to do, but Eren came, whispered in the ear and said, hey, yo, you should kill him. And drove him to do it. But, he still took the medicine that would turn his son into a Titan and injected it into him. He still told his son absolute jack shit nothing and let it all just kind of trickle down. Because ignorance is not bliss. It's not just good parenting because you want to, like, protect and shelter your kid. It's not sheltering when you know that bubble is going to pop and you do not prepare your offspring for that pop. So he injected his son and then made his son eat him. Made his son cannibalize his own father, patricide, in a monstrous, terrible manner. He was the leading cause of the trauma that Aaron went through. You can do a chicken and the egg. Is it because Aaron grew up and told him to do it, or was it because he did it in the first place, so Aaron grew up traumatized? But regardless of what came first, he never prepared Aaron. He didn't train him. He didn't warn him. He had nothing. He just let this all suddenly happen out of nowhere to his son with little to no actual education on what could happen. He left some stuff in a safe, but that was not enough to really, really help. So, yeah, he did some impressive things. Not everything was his fault, but as a father, he was bottom tier. Who's arguing in favor of boss?
Patty, you want it or should I?
Go ahead, you got it.
Since apparently y'all already think I lost.
Alright, King Boss. King Boss is actually the beginning of every problem in King's Ranking. I know what she said, but no, Marley is the problem in Attack on Titan. Because Grisha was not going to do shit until Marley attacked. King Boss happily sat by while his wife died. Not died, was killed by his wannabe side piece. Not even his actual side piece, his wannabe side piece, who he simply kind of felt bad for because her family got murdered. He let murder his family, happily steal his child's powers, and then was like, oh, dang, my kid is a cripple. Not gonna tell him shit, though. Good luck! And here's the kingdom that I do think you should have, and I built it for you, but yeah, you kind of can't run it because I robbed you blind before you were ever born. And then my next son, I'm gonna happily let my side piece set you up to be my reincarnation and do absolutely nothing about it when she brings me back. I'm just going to sit in the corner and say, oh, well, I guess you all have to suffer because I don't want to help. Like, he's the epitome of, like, for me to assume Ging Freaks in Hunter x Hunter was a bad dad, this is what he would have to do. Like, he would have to be, like, within reach of being able to help and then just choose to do nothing. And that's King Boss. Did nothing until at the end he actually physically assaulted his child.
I can argue against that a little bit.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, you gotta give me a chance because I'm at a disadvantage. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. Hold up. As a husband, yeah, King Boss married a chick, let some other girl kill her, then married another one, and then watched again as the side chick went to kill her. But what he didn't do was directly act against his kids in certain circumstances. At least for the majority of the series, he was resisting. When he first stole his son's ability, he felt bad, realizing, oh shit, that's what I did. And he said, you know what? I'm going to give this kingdom to you. I took your power, but I will give you everything I've ever earned, everything I've ever created, and pass it down to you. On his deathbed, didn't you even say he passed his kingdom down onto the son whose abilities he stolen?
I also said he was a shitty dad when he did that.
He was not happy to die, but willing to die and leave everything. Like, that's it. R.I.P. It was the girl who brought him back, and the girl who did this, that, and the other for him. And when talking about him as a father, you said that girl is his side piece. I also think it was kind of a side piece, but according to the show,
wannabe side piece,
see,
which
that's
is
even
worse.
better.
It's worse.
Wannabe side piece acting as his wives, but that wannabe side piece was raised as his daughter. That was her daddy in the not sexy way. And as his daughter, he protected her, he guided her, he took revenge when people hurt her and her mother, and he raised her to love him. So his first daughter, who he raised, loved him and stood by him. A little jealous. He wasn't very skilled at fathering, but he took care of her. Even when her body was destroyed, he did his best to get it back for her. His second son, oh shit, I did take all your power, but his first son, but I will give this back to you.
By taking,
I will give everything I have back to you when I die. And that's son number 3. He was dead when son number 3. That was infighting between his 3 kids. Daughter 1, son 1, and son number 2. Daughter 1 wanted her daddy back, so she put him in her little brother's body. And he did not make any moves. When he did, he was like, oh shit, I got this now. He also
And he
didn't make many
accepted it.
attempts
He
to
disrespected
get
his
rid of
wife.
it.
He disrespected his baby
We're
mom.
not talking about him as a husband. If we were talking
Hold
about
on.
anime husbands, that would be a
no,
totally
no.
It's
different
not
story.
even about a
Hold on.
husband. It's about a person. Listen, he did something horrible. He went in his son's body, told the baby mom
that wasn't by
yes.
choice. He was put in it. He didn't
He
stop it,
didn't
but
say
he
it
was dead,
wrong.
Patty.
He didn't
was
say he was
dead.
wrong. He didn't say he was wrong. Here, this is the thing.
He
Aaron's
wasn't
father-
good at separating between his kids.
He could have
Nah,
left.
he could
He
have
could have just been like, "Yo,
this is
oh
terrible.
fuck, I'm back.
I don't wanna
Oh
do
well,
that.
I'm leaving.
Not only
Boji,
did
take
he
over."
take, not only did he take his body, he fought Boji in the body of his second son. Like, what's wrong with you? No, I'm not gonna say, well, he was forced into it. No, he didn't. He didn't object. He took it and was like,
already
yeah,
in the
I'm down
body.
for it.
But,
No,
but I'm
he-
just saying,
it was
he
like,
had
all right,
3
cool.
kids. He sucked
He
at
got
moderating
2.
between them, but he did show
But he
love and
finished
was at
it
the
bad.
very least good to his daughter.
Was he?
Is he?
Yeah.
In what
And
way?
that's even-
Like by
that's
letting her
even
do
more
whatever she
he
wants.
raised
That
her.
still makes him a
He
terrible
took her
dad.
around,
That's a
protected her.
terrible dad.
In
So
fact,
he's
her
good.
obsession was she wanted to travel along with her daddy for more.
No, she just didn't want to be alone. What are you talking about? So you mean to tell me it's better that he's good at treating I don't know, his daughter better than his biological kids? His wannabe side hoe? Like, that's a wannabe side hoe. What she did was a selfish reason of why she should bring this dude back. She never cared about him that much, because if she did, she would have made sure that, okay, let me make sure Boji and the other little brat is okay, because that's a form of, I know those are his children. No, selfishly, what she did, she brought him back to the dead and selfishly took the
Okay, but just
though
though we are arguing who was the worst dad. You cannot count her actions
but you
unless
did.
he requested it.
But you
No,
did.
that is her looking up to him as a father, but things she does
You still
wrong,
counted.
you
No,
can
but you
kind
still
of put it on.
counted her
But in that
actions.
case, then Grisha Jaeger caused both his kids to do a bunch of genocidal actions.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
No,
how
he
is he innocent of raising kids, but Boss
'Cause-
isn't?
Because
we never say he's
'cause-
innocent. We
hold on,
just
hold
think
on.
he's better
Yeah.
than Boss.
yeah, but also he's nowhere near as bad because Grisha is just trying to get his kids a better life. That's it. And he's
The
just
best way he
failing
knows
at
how.
it because
The
the
best way he
Marley
knows how.
military is too strong for him. Literally, he just pushed his son a little bit too much to excel that his son snitched. That's where he fucked up. And then his son got him killed. And then the second time, he didn't do anything. He was like, oh shit, we have peace. I'm not going to do shit. And then Marley attacked, so he had no choice but to move. And then he was still not going to do it. And then Aaron was, a psychopath. And was like, nah, B, I want that better life.
Okay, so Patty, who's the winner? Who is the worst dad?
You already know.
Boss. Come
Yeah,
on, boss.
Okay, so our
No,
final round.
no. The
we
worst
have-
dad is not Boss. The worst.
I mean, show, probably.
Oh, well,
wait,
that's
wait.
what we got to argue now.
No, the worst
the
dad is
finalists.
Boss. No, the worst dad is definitely Boss.
In this case, so now we're on the final round. Who
Mhm.
is the absolute worst of the worst? King Boss or Show Tucker?
Who's Show Tucker again? Is
The
that
dog.
the dog?
Nina and the
Nina's
dog.
dad.
Well, I think it's Show Tucker.
Kirby?
Yeah, I think it's Show Tucker.
Honestly, with everything we've said, I kind of want to say boss.
Yeah, I'm on the Boss side because everything Show Tucker did, Boss kind of also did.
Like 100%.
Like killing his wives, yeah, Boss did it. Attempted twice.
Yo, no,
Weird experiments with his children, yeah, Boss did it twice.
Mhm.
Sponsored by the state, he's literally the king.
all of these things. Worse is boss didn't even live in like a capitalist system. He ain't have rent to pay. He could have just not done any of this. Show had to at least feed himself.
Okay, so we got our winners.
We have our winner, boss.
Wait, you're convinced? That's it? Boss is the worst between him and Joe.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. If you do everything times 2, then I guess.
Right? It's just
Heck, even the worst because he kept having kids.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Actually, yeah, the worst thing he ever did was purposely have kids
We know why he
in
had
order
the
to
first
take
one.
their power and experiment with them.
Mm.
'Cause, yeah, I know I just argued against it. That's because that was the team I was on. But yeah, dead ass. He knew kid number 1. He had to have kid number 1 so he could take the power.
Yep.
Same thing. He got healing in the first place so that he could have kid number 2
It was
as part of
literally
his initial
suggested.
plot. And he still banged her and got her knocked up.
Full on suggestion from the side hoe that he's apparently not involved. He's involved. He knew. He knew
Also,
why she
probably
wanted
the worst thing that he accidentally turned his daughter into a side hoe. Like, what kind of raising made that happen? What kind of grooming produced that psycho?
Well, I mean, that's more accidental grooming than anything. That's like a teacher who was not hitting on his student, and then the student has a massive crush.
But then not like chomping down on it.
He didn't chomp down on it.
No, as in not eat it, but as in lock it out, saying, "Yeah, this isn't happening."
Well, I mean, she never said shit, so he never knew.
He knew.
I guess, yeah, he definitely knew.
He knew.
I tried to defend it, but nah, he knew.
So that will conclude this episode. We have ultimately come to Yor as the best, the hottest of the hot anime moms. Not surprising. And King Boss from
Out of
King's
left field.
Ranking. Yeah. As the worst dad, the biggest source of daddy issues. Dang, that entire series really is just daddy issues to the max. The worst source of daddy issues in anime. If you think we're wrong and we have some other ones we didn't consider, put it forth. We will happily do another episode. At some point, we will be repeating this tournament, except with mommy issues and hot dads.
You know what?
If you have any suggestions, hit us up.
Just to be, my opinion was dropped, and they didn't even pay attention to me.
What was your opinion?
I wanted to die from Evangelion. I think that's the worst.
You did not mention him, but yes,
I
he should have
did.
been on the list.
No, I did
you?
mention him. Yeah. I did mention him. Neon Genesis. Yeah.
Yo, we've missed. Yo, look, there's a lot of fun to be had
more
with this because we also don't have the Code Geass stat in here. All right,
I think this is
Charles
the
for
thing.
Britannia, like it's
I think whenever you talk about shonen, the best, the best protagonist is always the one with the shitty dad. I think that's the recipe for a great story.
In fact, that might actually make them the best dads.
There it is.
If you don't give your kid a tragic backstory, are you really doing your job as an anime parent?
We would never have an Aaron if his father didn't do what he was doing. I'm sorry.
Right, that was my argument for Trisha Elric of Full Metal Alchemist. If she didn't die, nothing. She did her duty.
There it is.
All right, guys. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again and just argue over each other about who's worse.
Don't forget to send us your opinions at blackramenpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to put on the subject title Ask Black Ramen so we can do this again. And ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Peace. There's some awful dads out there, like for real. They were terrible. Oh my god.
Because yo, I feel some kind of way because I didn't know Beth's mom was involved. I wanted to bring up Ace's mom. It's